3, 2, 1. Okay, example 13.1 is asking us to write the equations for the following circles. So we've got a centre at 1, 6 and a radius of 4 units. So the centre at 1, 6 tells us that we're going to have x minus 1, because 1 is positive here, it's minus 1 in the equation, plus, always plus, y minus 6 all squared, and it has a radius of 4 units, so it is going to be 4 squared. And that's it. That's all you need to do for centre radius form. With the graph shown below, we've got a centre of 3, negative 5, and a radius, here's a convenient radius, a radius of 5 as well. So that's going to give us x minus 3, the opposite sign, all squared, always plus, y plus 5, the opposite sign, all squared, equals the radius squared. Okay. Question 13. Draw the circle with the equation x minus 2 all squared plus y minus 7 all squared equals 16. So our centre is going to be at 2, 7. So the x coordinate is the opposite of minus 2, the y is opposite of minus 7. And the radius is going to be 4 because 16 is 4 squared. So we locate our centre at 2, 7, which is here. And basically the easiest way to do it is to use your grid lines and go 4 units up. So 7 plus 4 is 11. 2 plus 4 is 6. 7 minus 4 is 3. And 2 minus 4 is minus 2. And you can see that each of these are 4 units from the centre. So these are on our circumference. And from there you carefully draw in a circle which goes through, which goes through those points as circle-ish as you can. We mark the centre, which is 2, 7. And we don't need to mark the radius. What we can do is we can mark another point. So this is going to be 2, 11. All right, how would we check that on our calculator? Well, we know that when we're graphing functions, we can only graph them in terms of y equals. We can't graph something that's got a y squared in it. So what we need to do is rearrange the equation. So we've got x minus 2 all squared plus y minus 7 all squared equals 16. We need to make y the subject, so we'll leave y minus 7 squared here and take x minus 2 from both sides. We'll take the square root of both sides to get rid of that square. And then we'll add 7 to both sides. I'm going to put it out here so that there's no confusion. Now, with the square root, I've left it off and I should have put it on. It's plus or minus. We must include the plus or minus. So it's going to be 7 plus or minus the square root of 16 minus x minus 2 squared. So how do we deal with the plus and minus? Oops, wrong one. How do we deal with the plus and minus when we're graphing? Well, you simply graph two functions. So we go y equals 7 plus the square root of 16 minus x minus 2 all squared. And that's y1. And then y2 is going to be 7 minus the square root of 16 minus x minus 2 all squared. So in your calculator, that's going to look like this. So making sure that you've got plus and minus on one and that everything else is identical. Now, when you graph that, it may come out looking like this, which looks nothing like a circle. It looks like an oval. So to make your graph look like a circle, you go to your view window and you click on square. And then you click on either Y base or X base. It doesn't matter which one you do. And then you press graph again. And you can see here that we've got the two halves of the graph. These little gaps here, that's just your calculator's way of saying it's too steep, I can't graph it, so I'm just going to leave it blank. It is in actual fact a circle, and you should be able to convince yourself that the center of the circle is actually at 2 and 7, 2, 7. Okay, so that's it. That's enough to get you going on exercise 3G.1.